It's time for Fresh from the Vine.
Fresh from the Vine is sponsored by Designs, Vines, and Wines. Please visit our website at designsvinesandwines.com and link over to our Facebook page. Or visit our studios in the Arts District in downtown Winston-Salem at 625 North Trade Street.
And now, Getting Fresh with Rachel.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. You're listening to Fresh from the Vine, and I'm your host, Rachel. Welcome, everyone. This is Rachel from Fresh from the Vine, and today in the studio I have Ross Rick with me, and he's going to share a little bit about his new album and CD he has that's going to be released, I believe he told me, April 15th. Be ready for everyone to get their hands on, even though he's going into the studio tomorrow to make some magic happen to tie things up. So Ross, tell us a little bit about what you have going on here.
I am just so proud to be here and with Rachel, and my album is based on unity of life, all surrounding internationally, no matter what color or creed. This music is a island sound, and with a lot of positivity I put behind it through the years, and it will be done April 15th, I'm pretty sure, in that range. And tomorrow I go to Raleigh with Behind the Voice. Actually, studio work has really been great. Like Rachel said, I will be finishing, polishing everything up, but tomorrow afternoon in Raleigh, North Carolina, there is a seminar of music with Bad Boy Records, which is Fanatic, Eli Davis, and also NBC Voice, Vanessa Ferguson of North Carolina's hit artists that is going to be there as well. And along with Beach Records and a couple other great people of music. Behind the Voice is something that is for all artists that are going to be there. Record deals are going to be available, and I am trying to grab me one. So
very exciting, very exciting. And I wish you all the luck and success that you deserve. And I really have enjoyed listening to the tracks that you've put together and shared with me.
Thank you.
We are going to give our listeners here today a little sneak peek of all of the wonderful work that you've been working so diligently on. And I definitely love the message that you're sending out, and especially to the young people. We need to change their little attitudes about what they think is cool, and I definitely enjoy the cool beat that you have going on, and
Gracias.
It makes me want to dance every time I hear it.
Thank you.
We're going to enjoy a little bit now, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more.
Jar Conscious and Ross Ricky. Yours truly, Greensboro. Watch out for this one. 2018. Coming at ya. You see it? It's gonna be nice and airy to unite the people. For real. We wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite. We wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite. Unity is right for our people unite. One blood, one aim, one destiny. The people be free. I want you to see. I offer to give thy best of me. Straight to my people, straight from my heart. We can take whatever. Jah made us be well, so we never part. We got to stay together. Stay together. Stay together. We wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite. We wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite. Wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite. We wanna see them people unite. No more fuss and fight. See them people unite.
We're coming to you from Designs, Vines, and Wine Studio in the heart of the downtown art district in Winston-Salem, where art is drawing the lines that join us. Our show is made possible by the support of Designs, Vines, and Wines, located at 625 North Trade Street Studios in the heart of the downtown Winston-Salem art district, offering one-of-a-kind original artwork, classes, create and sip events, and other open art events where walk-ins are always welcome, and we're keeping the arts alive.
Hey, it's me, your inner artist. Can I come out? Didn't know you had an inner artist? Well, we all do. So come out and express it at Designs, Vines, and Wines. Located in the studios at 625 North Trade Street, downtown Winston-Salem. Stop by and let your inner artist explore the wonderland of art with 8 different projects starting at just $25 each. Find out more at designsvinesandwines.com or stop by the studios at 625 North Trade Street in the heart of the Arts District in downtown Winston-Salem.
Put this one on your weekly calendar. It's Wine About Wednesday at Designs, Vines, and Wines.
Designs, Vines, and Wines is located inside the studios at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem.
The wine tasting begins at 7 p.m. with registration and a meet and greet. Then at 7:30 we start tasting.
Downtown at 625 North Trade Street. The studios at 625.
Link over to our Facebook page at designsvinesandwines.com. That's designsvinesandwines.com.
Come join us for Wine About Wednesday.
It's time for Fresh from the Vine.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration.
What the hell?
Welcome back to the studio. This is Rachel, keeping it fresh, and I'm here with Ross, Rick, and we're just talking a little bit about his new CD that he's got coming out, and his wonderful beat and his wonderful message, and how we're trying to send out a more positive message to the youth of today. And the studio is kind of busy today, so I do apologize for all the background noise, but we've got a new music venue that just opened up right down the street. It's part of our art district, the Ram Cat. I'm super excited about that.
Yes.
I can't help it. I get that excited about it. And they're having an open house, and they're going to share the fantastic murals that they have on the wall, and I'm excited to go talk to those artists and talk to them at the Ram Cat about all the fun events that they have coming up, and then we'll just put some fun Jamaican artwork together and just make some boomerangs, for instance. Who knows?
Oh yes, Ivory. Remind me of Rick's in Negril, Jamaica. That'd be very nice. I will try to be here at my best.
And we'll definitely let everyone know the confirmed date.
Oh yes, indeed, indeed. I will make the artwork come to life with the music.
Absolutely. Music is definitely art.
Yes, indeed. You're definitely right, Rachel. Makes lives get better, stronger, and livelier. Lively up yourself. That's what we're going to do.
That sounds good. And we'll just kick things off around 8 o'clock with an art jam and just have a great time with music. And we'll just open up the mic also for anybody else that might want to jam with you.
Oh, yes.
That'll make
yes.
it extra fun.
Yes, it will. I'm pretty sure there's some artists out there want to put something out there that's very positive.
Yeah, or maybe some poets will come out and be able to do some wonderful spoken word to some of your wonderful tunes.
Great, great. Yes, yes. I would love it, love it. We're searching for talent with definitely consciousness and positivity. Make the world go around very much livelier.
We have a lot of fun here at the Open Art Jams. They just spark so much creativity and energy and set just a wonderful atmosphere for those inhibitions to go away and the creativity to come to life.
True. That's very true, Rachel. That's what we should concentrate on doing. Get the unity in the community right here in downtown Winston-Salem and represent it live and directly. I will concentrate on helping you with the advertisement, and the ones who hear this definitely come out.
All right. Well, I'll be sharing some of your tunes between now and then just to give everybody a little teaser of what they can come to expect when we get together.
Yes, I give them a little snippet so they can come and get the rest of the continue of it. Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Live.
Thank you so much for coming in the studio today, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to be able to contact you either through email or phone or however you like to best be contacted for booking for parties or events that people might have in the future.
Yes, yes, indeed. You can reach me directly. You know, normally Ross Rick won't give out his number, but right now I have a new number. I have a business number. My business number is 336-501-6491. 336-501-6491. Definitely contact me. 336-501-6491. Respect. Call me. Ross Ricky, yours truly.
Thank you, Ross.
Yes, I, yours truly, Ross Rick. Sun in the Rain. A new entertainment productions. I'm of the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. I'm of the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. I'm of the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. I'm of the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. I say me Ross Ricky, me live up in the place of a Greensboro. Me sing, stop the fussing and the fighting. Me say me the ting-a-ling-a-ling like a school of bell ring. Let me chant something. I sing till the red, gold, black and green. You know what I mean? Say, what about you? To the red, white and blue. Say me everything is really created through. Say me lost and found from Africa, so them laugh at ya. Me come like a rubber duck soldier. Me come higher and I prosper. Me like a one time from me mother, son. I recite the pictures of a man, and that's me. Me Ross Ricky, me Irie. Come on with me, Greensboro. Watch out for me. I'm from the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. I'm of the sun and the rain. No pain, no gain. Listen, when you was born, you were given a name. We come like this. It's the low down, dirty shame. Greensboro, No one's to blame. Don't point your fingers, cause the sun and the rain. Raj, Ricky, and the rubbed up sidey. We come chant something when you know what I mean. Put it in the style of red, gold, black, green. What's about you? Wet, white, and blue. Do it to the truth. Unity. A new entertainment production. Raz, Ricky. Flash it. Do it. Sun in the rain.
We're coming to you from Designs, Vines, and Wine Studio in the heart of the downtown art district in Winston-Salem, where art is drawing the lines that join us. Our show is made possible by the support of Designs, Vines, and Wines, located at 625 North Trade Street Studios in the heart of the downtown Winston-Salem art district, offering one-of-a-kind original artwork, classes, create and sip events, and other open art events where walk-ins are always welcome, and we're keeping the arts alive. Put this one on your weekly calendar. It's Wine About Wednesday at Designs, Vines, and Wines.
Designs, Vines, and Wines is located inside the studios at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem.
The wine tasting begins at 7 p.m. with registration and a meet and greet. Then at 7:30 we start tasting.
Downtown at 625 North Trade Street. The studios at 625.
Link over to our Facebook page at designsvinesandwines.com. That's designsvinesandwines.com.
Come join us for Wine About Wednesday. Hey, it's me, your inner artist. Can I come out? Didn't know you had an inner artist? Well, we all do. So come out and express it at Designs, Vines, and Wines. Located in the studios at 625 North Trade Street, downtown Winston-Salem. Stop by and let your inner artist explore the wonderland of art with 8 different projects starting at just $25 each. Find out more at designsvinesandwines.com or stop by the studios at 625 North Trade Street in the heart of the Arts District in downtown Winston-Salem.
It's time for Fresh from the Vine.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration.
Welcome everyone, this is Rachel from Fresh from the Vine, and today in the studio I have Ross Rick with me.
Live up your life and pray every day.
Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. These are the last days that we are living in. Crucial times of His revelation, man. This is thy beginning. See what we're put here to be. Be freely, follow me to a destiny. Unstrong in the millennium, the confusion gone. Time for a new revolution. These are the last days that I'm vibing to my people, knowing that time is so short. Conspiracy lifestyle beyond equal. Take one look at all this crazy bombs, killing ones out the limits of their confusion. To your tongue, who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Seven of mine say, see, the liberation came to me about living as a Rastaman, see, being held back by my own country. Nevertheless, I be the one to have to break up the stress. Let me big up my chest. But if one man of mine in this confusion, the time for a millennium of the revolution. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in along. Everyone stays strong in this confusion. Man is a man, a woman, woman. They 50-50 equally, let's do it, Tyree. Let's do this thing together, we see. Unity, Ross Rick, say what we need.
Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one. Who wants to be in drama now? No one, no one, no one.
Yes, pray. Changes things, changes things. Know what I mean? Say the ESC, every second counts. We need every ounce. There'll be church bells ringing, people singing. Let's do a diary.
Thank you so much for coming in the studio today, and I want to give everybody an opportunity to be able to contact you either through email or phone or however you like to best be contacted for booking for parties or events that people might have in the future.
Yes, indeed. You can reach me directly. You know, normally Ross Rick won't give out his number, but right now I have a new number. I have a business number. My business number is 336-501-6491. 336-501-6491. Definitely contact me. 336-501-6491. Respect. Call me. Ross Ricky, yours truly.
Thank you, Ross.
Hey, it's me, your inner artist. Can I come out? Didn't know you had an inner artist? Well, we all do. So come out and express it at Designs, Vines, and Wines. Located in the studios at 625 North Trade Street, downtown Winston-Salem. Stop by and let your inner artist explore the wonderland of art with 8 different projects starting at just $25 each. Find out more at designsvinesandwines.com or stop by the studios at 625 North Trade Street in the heart of the Arts District in downtown Winston-Salem.
Put this one on your weekly calendar. It's Wine About Wednesday at Designs, Vines, and Wines.
Designs, Vines, and Wines is located inside the studios at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem.
The wine tasting begins at 7 p.m. with registration and a meet and greet. Then at 7:30 we start tasting.
Downtown at 625 North Trade Street. The studios at 625.
Link over to our Facebook page at designsvinesandwines.com. That's designsvinesandwines.com.
Come join us for Wine About Wednesday.
It's time for Fresh from the Vine.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fresh from the Vine. I'm in the studio today with my good friend Steve, and he was one of my featured artists in February, and I still have some of this fabulous artwork hanging here at the studio at 625 North Trade Street, so you better come see it while you can because his artwork is quite fabulous. And I've got Stephen here to tell us a little bit about the kind of artwork that he does, because his art is a little bit unique and special and a little different than the average painting. He doesn't use paint to make his artwork, and he does these fabulous portraits. And they're all done with a Sharpie. Oh my goodness, I can't even draw a poster with a Sharpie without messing up, because that stuff is permanent and it doesn't erase. And yeah, you get what you get when you play with a Sharpie, and you can't blend with them because they're pretty one color permanent. But Steve has some excellent techniques that he gets some wonderful variations of shading and light, and his portraits just pop. And I'd love for you guys to either go on my website or his website or blog page and check out his work, because it is absolutely fabulous. You won't want to miss it. Or even better yet, come see it in person. Or even better than that, even come to the studio and get some to take home for your walls, because they're empty without them. And once you see them, you're going to want them all hanging at your house, because I know I sure do. and he has some fantastic subject matter that has mass appeal to just about any person that walks. So Steve, tell us a little bit how you got started making these fabulous pieces of artwork.
Okay, it actually all started with Cindy Crawford, believe it or not. 2002, I lived out in California, and I lived in a little tiny room. I had a crappy job. I was kind of in between stuff, and it looked like a cave. And I saw this thing on MTV's House of Style with Cindy Crawford about how to basically make a doodle wall. You buy big rolls of paper, you put it up on a wall, and I'm like, hey, I could do that. And I've been drawing my whole life, but not all that well. So I put all this paper up, and I was going to make like my room was a cave looking out at the sunset. And I drew it all with Sharpies, and I started coloring it in, or actually it was just cheap markers at that point, and it was horrible. And so I just kept, instead I took all that paper and cut up all my old BMX, skateboard, rock climbing, sports magazines, and just made all these collages. And in between I just started doodling and doing little things to try to figure out how to make markers look cool, because I can't paint to save my life. So I just kept playing with it like 3 years, and I developed my scribble style, as I call it.
Yeah, and with these little scribbly lines that make this wonderful rich texture and just build so much texture into the drawings. They're fabulous, and you just get so many different colors and shades. And I just love watching you create these, because you kind of go through with one color and then you come back with another, and I don't even know how you know where you're going to put this one color down at, and then you come back and it just all blends together so beautifully. It just blows me away the way you switch from color to color, almost putting that one color down everywhere that it's going to go, and then coming back later with maybe a random touch-up here and there, but you've pretty much put all of that color down and you move on to the next one. It just blows me away how you do that.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, my technique is I scribble. Well, first I blow up an image. I usually use like photo. I work from photos. I blow it up, and I actually kind of pencil the back of a large copy, and then I trace or transfer the basic image of, I do people, a lot of musicians lately. The coloring thing that I figured out, the scribble style, is after I get the basic outline, I go in with the regular size Sharpies and do the outline, and then I start scribbling, and it's literally like a weird random scribble, except my hand keeps moving, and every color I do one pass, so every color in the final drawing is several colors layered over each other. And I'll start with one color, and one part will be like real dense scribbles, and one will be like more spread out scribbles. And so every color is actually basically the same 3 or 4 or 5 colors together, just different layers. And at the very end I'll use different colors to, it'll start all lime green and then orange and yellow, and then I get to the final colors and it'll end up blue, purple, orange, whatever. But
yeah, that just amazes me, because as an artist myself, I'm all over the place. I'll go back and forth between the colors thousands of times before I'm done with a piece of work. But to watch you go through with pretty much that one color and put it everywhere that it's going to be, and then move on to the next one on a big piece that you're working on, just blows me away how you do that. My brain doesn't even work that way. It's not that organized or that categorized to be able to pick out where I'm going to need that color and everywhere. But I know working with Sharpies is a lot different in the way you have to layer them to get the shading and the variations that you need throughout the piece of artwork. But that's just one thing that fascinates me. And then of course a lot of your artwork has a lot of song titles and lyrics lyrics and a lot of written words and sometimes poetry within the artwork. And you know, again, I can't hardly write one sentence without messing it up with a Sharpie, let alone just my name. And I've been writing that all my life. You know, if I'm doing it with a Sharpie, I'm going to be like double checking it 3 or 4 times just to make sure I'm not going to misspell it or mess it up. So that just super impresses me.
Well, the lettering comes from, I write all capitals, like even when I write normally. Like I grew up back in the olden days when we wrote cursive, and I could barely do it anymore. And my dad was a draftsman turned engineer as he, you know, advanced in his work.
Old school engineer.
Old school, yeah. So he had to literally hand letter, you know, he'd draw these great big huge drawings and they'd make blueprints, and then some guy out in the shop would weld or, you know, build whatever he made.
I guess that's another reason why it impresses me so much, because I also have an engineering and architecture background, and I spent hours of my life doing that precise, very neat lettering that was required for those engineering working drawings. And I know how tedious it is, and his penmanship is just incredible. And
that's where it came from, drafting class. Our drafting teacher in high school, we had to actually hand draw the drawings, and he was like, "You'll never get a job without perfect lettering," so we had to like...
Yes, this was before computers,
yeah,
people, and yeah.
Literally right before computers took over, so I had, and now it's kind of like stylized, so I do a little quicker, but I have to like pay attention, or... so when I do a musician, I'll do either, some people want song lyrics in the background, I'll put a certain song. Kind of what I started doing that is, I like graffiti art. Like tagging is lame, but when you get something where people have tagged several colors over and over, it has that weird, you know, kind of model texture to it, and that looked really cool, and I played with Sharpies to try to get that. And so I'll do the colors, and I'll do like all these lyrics in the background, and then when you stand back, you know, 8 or 10 feet, they actually look better, and the scribbles blend together, the shadows look right, hopefully, and all the lettering in the background is just like a texture, and then when you get up close, you're like, oh, that's words, you know. And sometimes I'll actually write words and completely go over them. You won't even know there's writing in the background. And other ones, you know, you can read it, or I'll leave lyrics highlighted for, you know, certain songs. Just did one of Lana Del Rey, and that was for a young girl. Her mom asked me to do it for a birthday present, and so I put the lyrics of her favorite song highlighted, but there was like all the song titles she's done over the years were in the background of the rest of the picture, and that one came out really cool, and she was really stoked. So
it was very, very nice. Yeah, I just adore it. Now you also have one of your pieces hanging in Delert Gallery right now as part of the Creatures of Fortune show that they were doing for this month of March. It's an incredible show. So if you still have a few days to go down there and see that. And the picture that's down there of Steve's is the Michael Jackson picture. It's absolutely fantastic. We had that one up here at Studio 625 in February, but it did move down to Delert for their Creatures of Fortune show.
Yeah, that was actually Rachel entered me in that one, so she helped me out on that, which I'm totally appreciative of. It's funny because when I first came to Winston-Salem and discovered Trade Street years ago, I was over here looking for work, and what's now Delert Gallery was Urban Artware, headed by Millicent Greason, who's one of the first artists to really set up down here. And so I used to go in there, and I remember asking her when my scribbles really sucked back then. I do like weird little aliens and stuff. Nothing, you know, they didn't look that good. And I was like, "Well, what's it take to get on the wall here?" And she's like, "Well, you gotta keep working at it, you know." And so now I have one in that same gallery, which is really cool. And it's, yeah, Michael Jackson, one shot of him dancing, and then a big face shot of him singing, and that one's also got like all the lyrics and stuff in the background. And somebody actually asked me, you know, could you do it Michael Jackson? And then we just didn't connect, and he never picked it up. And so when I started talking to Rachel, she's, you know, it's February, Black History Month. I'm a white guy, but, you know, I was like, I'm down for doing something. And so I had that one sitting there, so we brought that down, and then I did a Maya Angelou because it's Winston-Salem, and she's like, you know, one of the most famous people here. So.
Yes, and I absolutely love that Maya Angelou piece. Yeah, Steve doesn't know it, but, you know, that one's already spoken for by this little girl right here, because that one's super special to me, because he created that one here at our open art jams that we have here. And so everyone that came in during those weekends of the first part of February actually got to watch Steve create that piece, and it is absolutely fabulous. And it does have one of her best ever poems that really clinches my heart.
I've just blanked out on what poem it was.
Yeah.
We are more alike than unalike. What's the name of the poem? But yeah, we were trying to do a whole unity, you know, we're all one race kind of thing that month. That was the theme going on here, so that was the perfect poem, and, you know, it was cool to do that one. It came out really well, and so you'll have to fight Rachel for that one.
Yeah, that one's going to cost you a whole lot of money if you want to break it free from those fingers.
I can do another one, though.
This is true.
Yeah. I've also done a lot of athletes. I come from a BMX skateboard background world. I worked in the BMX industry. I actually got into BMX freestyle bikes, and I lived in Idaho at the time in high school in the 80s, like way back in the olden days. I'm old now. And when, you know, we were just kind of creating that sport, and I got into it at that point, and then my family moved to San Jose right after I graduated high school, San Jose, California, and the Bay Area had one of the best freestyle scenes. There's a handful of really good pros, guys called the Curb Dogs. Dave Vanderspeck was like the visionary leader, and several other pros, Robert Peterson, Maurice Meyer, really cool. And I got to know those guys, and I started making a zine, which for all you young kids, a zine is like a blog made out of paper, basically. Like, we made our own little books. We called it Xerox art. You have to Google Xerox. That's what the copy machines were called back then. But,
or if you want to go way back, a mimeograph machine.
Yeah, that's going way back. Xerox doesn't smell the same, though.
No.
Mimeograph was all the weird smelling stuff.
Yes.
All the tests
The chemicals.
Yeah. But so yeah, I did this little zine, and I sent it to all the BMX magazines, and then I met some of the guys, and I ended up getting a job at Wizard Publications, which put out BMX action and freestyle in magazines. A year after I moved, and I moved to Southern California, and I was around all these creative bike skate people, and then I got laid off at the magazine, and this is kind of my claim to fame, I guess.
Hey, it's me, your inner artist. Can I come out? Didn't know you had an inner artist? Well, we all do. So come out and express it at Designs, Vines, and Wines. Located in the studios at 625 North Trade Street, downtown Winston-Salem. Stop by and let your inner artist explore the wonderland of art with 8 different projects starting at just $25 each. Find out more at designsvinesandwines.com or stop by the studios at 625 North Trade Street in the heart of the Arts District in downtown Winston-Salem.
Put this one on your weekly calendar. It's Wine About Wednesday at Designs, Vines, and Wines.
Designs, Vines, and Wines is located inside the studios at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem.
The wine tasting begins at 7 p.m. with registration and a meet and greet. Then at 7:30 we start tasting.
Downtown at 625 North Trade Street. The studios at 625.
Link over to our Facebook page at designsvinesandwines.com. That's designsvinesandwines.com.
Come join us for Wine About Wednesday.
It's time for Fresh from the Vine.
Thank you for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fresh from the Vine. I'm in the studio today with my good friend Steve, and he was one of my featured artists in February, and I still have some of this fabulous artwork hanging here at the studio at 625 North Trade Street, so you better come see it while you can because his artwork is quite fabulous. And I've got Steven here to tell us a little bit about the kind of artwork that he does, because his art is a little bit unique and special and a little different than the average painting. He doesn't use paint to make his artwork, and he does these fabulous portraits. And they're all done with a Sharpie. Oh my goodness, I can't even draw a poster with a Sharpie without messing up, because that stuff is permanent and it doesn't erase. And yeah, you get what you get when you play with a Sharpie, and you can't blend with them because they're pretty one color permanent. But Steve has some excellent techniques that he gets some wonderful variations of shading and light, and his portraits just pop. And I'd love for you guys to either go on my website or his website or blog page and check out his work, because it is absolutely fabulous. You won't want to miss it. Or even better yet, come see it in person. Or even better than that, even come to the studio and get some to take home for your walls, because they're empty without them. And once you see them, you're going to want them all hanging at your house, because I know I sure do. And he has some fantastic subject matter that has mass appeal to just about any person that walks. So Steve, tell us a little bit how you got started making these fabulous pieces of artwork.
The guy who took my old job was this young punk kid from the East Coast, biker, skateboarder kid called Spike Jones, who happens to be the same Spike Jones who has done all the movies and won an Oscar for writing and directing Her, the movie Her, and Jackass. And so he's, we were just all these weird little goofy creative people, and we had like a punk rock do-it-yourself influence in all these sports. So we just started, making zines, shooting photos. I got into making videos, made several low-budget BMX videos, and we were just all doing all this weird stuff. And there's a lot of, actually, some really good artists around back then. But.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fun that you had back then doing all of those very dangerous sports that make mothers like myself, need a...
Well, we weren't that crazy back then. We weren't doing backflips 30 feet up in the air like they do now. But.
Yeah, I know my older son was into the BMX bike racing for a while, and he was really pretty good at it. And it just scared me and put my heart in my throat, and yeah, gave me a lot of gray hairs that I shouldn't have at my age. Thank you, son. But luckily, you didn't get any major broken bones or,
broke one ankle.
Or busted open skulls or anything like that, so I'm happy about that.
I used to do that on my own, actually. I used to crack my head open every other year as a kid. Like some weird, ran through a door and broke it down the glass. I got hit in the head with a croquet mallet. Like every odd-numbered age, I would do that. So by the time I got to BMX, my parents were like, this is stupid, Until I got in the magazine, then when my mom could show the magazine with my name in it, then it was no longer stupid. That's how all these,
Then the crash and burn actually meant something.
Yeah. Plus, I was a better writer. I wasn't a great photographer, but a writer, video guy than BMXer. So I ended up just being around and shooting video when a lot of cool stuff happened. I met all the pros. I used to go riding with them, and when we go to contests, like BMX racers would be stupid and party all night or whatever when they go to a race. Freestylers, we just go out and ride our bikes all night, and and then wake up and go to the contest the next day. So we, was riding with all these Dennis McCoy and Ron Wilkerson and all these guys back in the day, and it was just really cool. And then people started doing other creative things, and this guy became a photographer, and this guy got into video, and We all kind of just learned, you know, fed off each other. And
what, you mean some of you actually grew up? No, say this.
No, they just had a...
Let's be Peter Pans forever.
No, that's the funny thing. It's like we've grown up without growing up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like they just had a reunion out in California, though, this camp called Woodward West, and there was a guy, I'm 51 right now, Ron Wilkerson's 52, who was one of the pros back in the 80s, pro contest promoter all around, has a bike company, all of this, and he was on one of those huge mega ramps, like the big air ramp in the X Games, getting like 15, 16, 18 feet out of it at 50 years old last weekend. So, you know, so it's like people started running companies, but we're still like doing these goofy sports that everyone thought was stupid 30 years ago, and now the sports are all over the world, and we got guys like Spike and Ed Templeton, the skater artist, who's actually better known for his art to a lot of people now, was a local skater I used to run into all the time. Mark Gonzalez, who was like started street skating, another well-known artist, and you know, we were creative on our bikes and skateboards, and that just kind of led to other things, you know, musicians and
people that aren't scared to take a risk.
Yeah, that's what it is when you. Yeah, the other thing about all those sports is you're always failing and falling down, like you're screwing up most of the time. So failure becomes just like a normal thing, like, oh, you know, that didn't
you
work.
You just get back up and you dust yourself off and you do it again.
Do it again. And on those sports, if you don't get back up right away, if your body works enough, you try the same thing right after you wrecked, or you start getting a mental block and stuff. And I think that's why there's so many, you know, Spike became a director, and, you know, Ed Templeton owns a company. A bunch of my friends started little companies out of garages. Chris Moeller started S&M Bikes, and I was his roommate, and, you know, we'd, you know, three of us in the one bedroom. One guy slept on the couch. Chris had the bedroom. I slept on the floor, and we'd wake up, you know, get over our hangovers from the night before and go ship bike boxes out, and, you know, whoever answered the phone in the morning would take orders from random companies, and, you know, now he owns 2 bike companies, and he's rich, and you know, I don't know, it's like we never realized where all these weird people were going to end up. And
weird people.
We were weird. We were all like complete goofy, dorky.
Yeah, but who defines normal anyway?
Well, yeah, now normal is weird, so. But.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's wonderful to be around people that really have never lost their youthful spirit or their willingness or daringness to try new things, and to be willing to risk failure and to put themselves out there. And I know as an artist you do that a lot. You risk yourself and you put yourself out there a lot, and I know it's a struggle some days to put yourself out there like that, and to put a lot of work, time, and effort into the pieces that you create. And
you never know. What you're saying reminds me of a video producer I worked for, a guy named Don Hoffman, and one of the jobs I got was at Vision Skateboards, which is one of the big skateboard companies in the 80s, and he had started a video company. We did all the Vision streetwear clothes and Vision, all their videos for this whole skateboard company, and Don was like a really good cameraman, director, you know. He kind of was always against, you know, kind of playing off of Stacy Peralta, who did Dogtown and Z-Boys and all of this stuff, who's, you know, really well known. So they were kind of like competition, and Don walked out one day after editing some video and just said, man, at least when you dig a ditch, you have a ditch at the end of it. He's like, when you do something creative, you never know if you're going to have anything left. You know, it could just suck. You could put all this work into it, but, you know, we just got used to doing that. When you do it on a physical level, even, you know, like most of the riding I didn't do was really crazy, but you're always falling and getting scraped up and banged up, and, you know, then other stuff becomes creative stuff doesn't seem as scary because you're used to just kind of dealing with, you know,
the
trying something
potential
new.
of failure.
Yeah, yeah. You have failures. You go to a skate park, kids are failing, and then they land it, and that's, you know, that just became normal, you know, and you know, we just got used to failure. We got really good at failure and getting back up, and I think that's why there's so many, you know, businessmen, creative people that came out of all these sports. You know, we totally changed the way they shoot video now because the way we started shooting, and I mean, it's...
Well, you guys really put the sport on the map, so to speak, anyway, by, you know, making the effort to make the videos and putting the sport out there and making it accessible, fun, and entertaining for others to see what you guys are doing and see the crazy risk that you're taking and the stunts that you're doing, you know, without the little safety net that they have in Hollywood, so to speak.
Yeah, I actually, that's why Spike did so good in Hollywood, is because he was just like way crazier, you know, and when he started hanging out and meeting those people, well, dating Francis Ford Coppola's daughter didn't hurt at all either. But that kind of got him started in movies. But he was just one guy. And, you know, most of them were like that. But, you know, like when people asked me about him in particular, and he was just a really cool guy. You know, he was a really good skateboarder, really good rider. And it's like we all have good ideas. And then we, like, you know, you think about them, we're drinking, or I don't drink anymore, but back in the days, you know, you're sitting around with your friends, and oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this or whatever, and then you don't do it. And I think Spike Jones is just like, you know, he's not the only one, but he's one of those guys that, like, he has the idea, and then he gets up and actually does it the next day.
Yeah, you just do it.
Like
the Nike thing says, just do it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, the whole DIY from the punk rock movement was, you know, they made their own records and booked their own tours and set up their own shows, and, you know, especially in BMX freestyle, there's a real entrepreneurial part of it. And the early guys, Bob Harrow, who invented the whole sport, you know, started his own company. R.L. Osborne started his own trick team. His dad owned the magazine I worked for. And so when I got into it, there was all these entrepreneurial guys already. BMX racing was kind of like that as well, because it takes a lot of money to travel to all these races. So kids are always like scamming to, you know, selling stickers or whatever to make
they're
money.
Hustling.
We're all, you know, we all had to hustle
done.
a little bit. And in the freestyle trick riding part, everybody had their own little trick team. So we're doing riding shows locally. You know, I started with a friend, and I met the local guys in Boise, and we did shows around town. We rode in parades, and, you know, then California, you know, there's different scenes, and became more of it just hanging out with different groups in different areas and contests and all that.
So, Steve, what brought you from California all the way back here to North Carolina?
I got deported from California.
Deported?
No,
well, they had enough granola bars out there in California.
No,
they had to
they're
ship
not
it
all
out here.
crazy. Most people in California are actually pretty normal, but that
Again,
doesn't make the
my
news.
statement: who defines normal?
Well, I mean, they're like average working people, but, you know, like Hollywood and the surf culture and all that, that's what makes better TV and, you know, all that stuff. But basically I was working out there for 20-some years. I got into the early 90s, out of BMX, I kind of stumbled. BMX took a dive in the 90s in the recession. Skateboarding, all of
everything fun took a dive,
yeah,
because nobody could do anything except for pay their bills, and they weren't really doing that really well.
Yeah, and it's really expensive out there. Snowboarding and mountain biking were doing well, but everything else sucked. And so it went underground, and all of my friends started their own little companies, you know, like, hey, why don't we just start making bikes? And so anyhow, I stumbled into like TV work out of the video work. I was working on TV crews. I worked on the American Gladiators TV show and a bunch of shows you've never heard of. So I used to get beat up by the American Gladiators. We were the little guys on the sidelines that had like the little white karate pads. and I'm sitting here moving my hands around like I'm actually doing it. But
oh my goodness!
But
American Gladiators.
Yeah,
you didn't tell me about that, Steve.
I didn't tell you about that.
No, you kept that on the
yeah. There's no good video. I got kicked in the head one time by a falling cheerleader, and I still am trying to find that. I found it once and it disappeared. But so I literally used to play games with the gladiators and the contestants, because our crew, they called us the spotters, and we'd help change a set, but then we'd hook them into the harnesses and all that. And you know, when they ran out of bounds, we had to like run into them, you know, stop them before they hit the expensive TV cameras. And so
you got to protect that equipment. Who cares if they
Skins
into the
cheap.
wall? Yeah.
TV, you know, studio TV cameras were like 80,000 back then. And then they'd shoot the whole show for like 6 weeks, gladiators, and we'd have like a week and a half, 2 weeks of practice where we'd set up the games, and then all the contestants would come in one day and the gladiators another day, and they'd practice and learn all these weird games. And back then, there was no reality TV back then. The closest thing now would be like American Ninja Warrior, except you actually would like go against, you know, athletic bodybuilder big people in the games. So it's kind of like the same kind of thing as that, but all these people had to practice, and they didn't want the contestants getting hurt because they were the show, and they didn't want the gladiators getting hurt because they were the stars in practice. So they just tell us, you know, hey, put a lacrosse helmet and run through this thing and see what happens. And you know, so like the people trying out to be gladiators, I got hit in the head by them, and you know, it was really fun though. Like, you know, I should have moved up to a better job, but I just stayed and became the head of that crew because we got to play all the games and stuff. It was a blast. And you know, we had a stuntman, this legendary stuntman, Bob Yerkes, that would come in and teach everybody how to fall, you know, do a stunt fall into the crash pads because you're always falling. And so I learned how to, you know, do that. I got into rock climbing. I was in shape back then, for those of you who know me now. And they had a wall. That was one of the first climbing walls anywhere, actually, was on that show. And one of the gladiators who I became good friends with, Electra, Selena Bar-Tunick is her real name, was like a world, or you know, national caliber rock climber, and she was always out climbing most of the year, living in her van, and you know, just was an amazing climber. So I just started, you know, hanging out, talking to her and reading her climbing magazines in between takes, and so I got in between every year. I kind of got into climbing because of that, and that became my kind of like a get away from BMX thing. You know, for a while I'd go out by myself and do what they call bouldering, which is like, you know, like little rocks and no ropes. You know, so you only fall like 10 feet.
Yeah, I'm vertically challenged for a reason. I'm supposed to be close to the ground and stay on the ground. 5'0". Yeah,
oh no,
I'll
women
stay
are
right
great climbers.
On the ground. Thank you very much.
Well, I was afraid of heights too.
No heights for me. No.
Yeah, I was afraid of heights, so I started climbing because I was afraid of heights. So now I'm just afraid of bigger heights. Thank you for doing this. It's really cool, and I'm so glad I ran into you that first Friday I came to. I met Rachel, and she liked what I was doing, and I just hang out here because it's a cool vibe. It's just, you know, North Carolina can be pretty uptight and, you know, strict, and there's just a real cool creative vibe in here, and it's just a great place to hang out and do some artwork. And you don't have to be good, just come down and do one of Rachel's projects. I'm going to do the record album thing one of these days.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for this week, and we hope you'll tune in again next time for Fresh from the Vine with Rachel. We're sponsored by Designs, Vines, and Wines. Visit us at designsvinesandwines.com. The studio is located at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's in the heart of the Arts District. And inside the studios at 625, other artists also share their works. So please come by, give us a visit. Designs, Vines, and Wines, inside the studios at 625 North Trade Street in downtown Winston-Salem. Downtown Winston-Salem. Downtown Winston-Salem.